Life is short. 103-year-old shares 5 lessons for the next 50 years of your life. Introduction. In a world that moves at an ever-accelerating pace, time is one of the few constants that we all share. Whether you're chasing dreams, building a career, nurturing relationships, or seeking inner peace, the truth remains. Life is short. The brevity of life is a universal reality, often hidden under the veil of busyness, distractions, and the relentless march of time. But every now and then, a voice from the past breaks through, offering wisdom that has stood the test of time. One such voice belongs to Gladys McGarey, a remarkable woman who, at 103 years old, has distilled a century of life experiences into timeless lessons. Her words resonate with a profound spiritual depth and a practical, humanized understanding of what truly matters in life. In this article, we will explore 5 of the most powerful life lessons shared by Gladys McGarey that will not only inspire but also challenge you to rethink your approach to the next 50 years of your life, no matter where you stand today. Her lessons are not just for the elderly or those nearing the end of their journeys. They are for the young, the ambitious, and the dreamers who have years ahead of them, yet who may feel lost or uncertain. Her wisdom touches the very core of what it means to live fully, with intention, grace, and a heart open to the spiritual revelations life offers. The power of reflection. Time as a gift and a teacher. From the moment we are born, time is a gift that we often take for granted. It slips through our fingers, unnoticed until we reach a point where we realize how precious it truly is. Gladys McGarey reminds us that the first step toward living a fulfilling life is to view time not as a constraint but as a teacher. Every second, minute, and hour holds potential for growth, reflection, and gratitude. Time allows us to learn from our mistakes, savor our achievements, and build connections that last a lifetime. In a world that glorifies busyness, we often forget to slow down and reflect. We chase after success, fame, and material wealth, forgetting that the most valuable currency is time itself. Gladys urges us to pause and ask ourselves, am I truly living, or am I just existing? Reflection is a spiritual practice, one that enables us to align our lives with our true purpose. It allows us to see the bigger picture and recognize the divine hand that guides us through the highs and lows of life. When we reflect on our past, we gain clarity about our present and future. Gladys emphasizes the importance of not dwelling on regrets but learning from them. Every mistake is an opportunity for growth, and every setback is a stepping stone toward a greater understanding of ourselves and the world around us. She believes that the key to a fulfilling life is not in avoiding mistakes but in embracing them as part of the human experience. Lesson 1. Embrace your humanity. You are perfect in your imperfection. One of the most profound lessons Gladys shares is the idea that perfection is not the goal. Being fully human is. In a society that often pushes us to strive for unattainable ideals of perfection, we are left feeling inadequate when we inevitably fall short. Gladys, with the wisdom of over a century, reminds us that our flaws, mistakes, and imperfections are what make us uniquely human. They are not something to be ashamed of, but something to be embraced and celebrated. Life is a journey of self-discovery, and it is through our struggles that we find our strength. Gladys believes that the pursuit of perfection often blinds us to the beauty of the present moment. If you are always striving to be perfect, you miss out on the joy of simply being, she says. The joy of being alive, of experiencing the highs and lows of life, is a gift in itself. It is through embracing our imperfections that we open ourselves to the grace of God and the wisdom of the universe. Spiritual revelation. The power of vulnerability. At the heart of this lesson is a deep spiritual truth. Vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we open our hearts to connection, love, and healing. Vulnerability is the gateway to authentic relationships and meaningful experiences. It allows us to connect with others on a deeper level and to experience the divine in our everyday lives. Gladys McGarey teaches us that vulnerability is not something to be feared but something to be embraced. It is through vulnerability that we experience true love, compassion, and empathy. When we let go of the need to be perfect, we create space for grace to enter our lives. We learn to trust in the process of life and in the divine timing of all things. Lesson 2. Cultivate resilience. Life's challenges are opportunities for growth. Gladys has lived through wars, pandemics, personal loss, and societal change, yet she speaks with a lightness that reflects resilience. Her second lesson is a reminder that life's challenges are not meant to break us but to build us. She teaches that resilience is not about being unbreakable. It's about being able to bend without breaking, to adapt, and to rise after every fall. Resilience is a spiritual discipline. It requires faith in something greater than ourselves. Faith in the divine plan, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. Resilience is born out of the understanding that life is a series of seasons. There are times of abundance and times of scarcity, times of joy and times of sorrow. But through it all, we are growing, evolving, and becoming more of who we are meant to be. Spiritual revelation. The strength found in surrender. One of the most counterintuitive yet liberating truths Gladys shares is that true strength is found in surrender. When we surrender to the flow of life, trusting that every challenge we face has a purpose, we tap into a source of strength that goes beyond our human limitations. This is not the kind of surrender that comes from giving up, but the kind that comes from releasing control and allowing the divine to work through us. Gladys' life is a testament to the power of surrender. She has faced more than her fair share of hardships, yet she has always emerged stronger, not because she fought against her circumstances but because she embraced them. She trusted that each challenge was an opportunity for growth and that there was a greater plan at work, even when she couldn't see it. Lesson 3. Nurture relationships. The people in your life are your greatest gifts. As we journey through life, it's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of personal success, but Gladys reminds us that at the end of the day, it's the people in our lives that matter most. Whether it's family, friends, or the wider community, the relationships we nurture are the true measure of a well-lived life. Gladys speaks of relationships as the threads that weave the fabric of our lives. These connections, whether deep or casual, shape our experiences and help us to grow. Each person we encounter has the potential to teach us something about ourselves and the world. She stresses the importance of investing time and energy into meaningful relationships. This requires vulnerability, empathy, and, above all, love. Relationships are not always easy, but they are worth the effort. Love is the glue that holds us together, she says, and it is through love that we find purpose, joy, and meaning. Spiritual revelation. Love as a divine force. Gladys' understanding of relationships is deeply spiritual. She believes that love is a divine force that flows through all of creation. When we open our hearts to love, we are participating in the divine work of healing and connection. Love is not just a feeling, it is an action, a choice we make every day to show up for the people in our lives. In nurturing relationships, we are also nurturing our connection to the divine. Each act of kindness, each moment of understanding, is a reflection of God's love. Gladys encourages us to see the people in our lives as mirrors, reflecting back to us the love, compassion, and grace of the universe. Lesson 4. Practice gratitude. Find joy in the simple things. Gratitude is more than just a feeling. It is a way of seeing the world. Gladys McGarey's fourth lesson is about the power of gratitude to transform our lives. In a world that often encourages us to focus on what we lack, Gladys teaches us to focus on what we have. Gratitude is the key to happiness, she says, and it is through gratitude that we unlock the fullness of life. Gratitude shifts our perspective from scarcity to abundance. When we focus on what we are grateful for, we begin to see the beauty in the simple things. A sunrise, a smile, a moment of peace. These small moments of joy are the building blocks of a fulfilling life. Spiritual revelation. Gratitude as a spiritual practice. Gratitude is not just a mental exercise. It is a spiritual practice. When we express gratitude, we are acknowledging the divine presence in our lives. We are recognizing that everything we have is a gift, and that life itself is a blessing. Gratitude opens our hearts to the flow of abundance and allows us to see the world through the eyes of love. Gladys encourages us to make gratitude a daily practice. Whether through prayer, meditation, or simply taking a moment to reflect on the good in our lives, gratitude helps us to stay connected to the divine and to the present moment. It is a reminder that, No matter what challenges we face, there is always something to be thankful for. Lesson 5. Live with purpose. Make each day count. The final lesson from Gladys McGarey is perhaps the most important. Live with purpose. At 103 years old, Gladys has lived a life full of purpose, and she encourages us to do the same. Purpose is not something we find. It is something we create. It is about living each day with intention and making the most of the time we have. Purpose gives our lives meaning and direction. It helps us to stay focused on what truly matters and to avoid getting lost in the distractions of life. Your purpose is what makes you come alive, Gladys says, and it is through living with purpose that we find fulfillment and joy. Spiritual revelation. Purpose as a divine calling. For Gladys, purpose is not just about personal fulfillment. It is about answering a divine calling. Each of us has a unique purpose, a role to play in the grand tapestry of life. When we live with purpose, we are aligning ourselves with the divine will and participating in the work of creation. Living with purpose requires us to listen to the still, small voice within us that guides us toward our true calling. It requires faith, courage, and trust in the process of life. Gladys reminds us that our purpose may not always be clear, but if we stay open to the guidance of the divine, we will find our way. Conclusion. The fundamentals of a life well lived. As we reflect on the wisdom of Gladys McGarey, we are reminded of the fundamentals of a life well lived. Embracing our humanity, cultivating resilience, nurturing relationships, practicing gratitude, and living with purpose. These lessons are not just for the elderly or those nearing the end of their journey. They are for all of us, no matter where we are on the path of life. In the end, life is short, but it is also beautiful. It is filled with opportunities for growth, connection, and love. As we move forward into the next 50 years of our lives, let us carry these lessons with us, allowing them to guide us toward a life of fulfillment, joy, and purpose. May we all live each day with intention, gratitude, and love, knowing that the greatest gift we have is the time we are given and the people we share it with. Kindly subscribe, like, follow, comment, and share.